Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast Weekly Buckeye Edition. Today, we are talking about another Buckeye blitzing, this time of Rutgers taking them down. We got the founders of the L7C, Byron and Cedric, with us. How are you guys doing today?
Can't complain. Doing well.
Yeah, man.
Well, good. Another Buckeye win. Yeah, can't complain when you come in on a Tuesday and we have a win. We could be other schools coming in with L's.
That's true. We definitely could.
But hey, enough about that. Everyone's here to listen about the Buckeyes and hear our thoughts and hear about what's going on in college football. So, Byron, do what you do. Take it away.
All right. So the Buckeyes pretty much trounced Rutgers 49-10 on a beautiful Saturday. CJ Stroud had a very quiet game. 13 for 22 for 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw another interception, so that makes back-to-back games where he has forced the pass to an interception. But the star of the day was a running back by the name of Miyan Williams. 21 carries, 189 yards, 5 touchdowns. The longest run he had was a 70-yard touchdown. Emeka Egbuka had a quiet game as well. 4 receptions for 70 yards, no touchdowns. So he breaks his 3-game streak of 100-plus yards. Julian Fleming, 4 receptions, 51 yards, a touchdown. And Marvin Harrison Jr., 3 for 18 for a touchdown as well. And then we did have a fumble. Emeka Egbuka started the game with a fumble on special teams, allowed Rutgers to score on their opening drive. So the game started 7-0 Rutgers because of the Emeka Egbuka fumble. And then Still Chambers also had an interception for 12 yards. So those were the highlights of the game. I'm okay with CJ Stroud having a quiet game because it allowed Miyan Williams to basically dominate the whole game. So I enjoyed that. Travion Henderson was out due to an unspecified injury. So that's why Miyan Williams was allowed to go off like he did. The only thing I had concern with was just Emeka Egbuka fumbling. That's very rare for him, so hopefully that won't happen again. But otherwise, it was a great football game.
Cedric, what'd you like about the game, about what the Buckeyes did? What didn't you like, things you saw? How are you feeling about it?
Good things. Miyan Williams, you the truth, bro. I know last week we had that question of Henderson versus Williams. Hey, it's a honest, fair conversation. I mean, he ain't no slouch out here. You see 5 rushing touchdowns. That's tough. Like, that's for real tough. Like, yeah, it's Rutgers, but still, normally after like 4 or 3, the coach is like, yo, you just sit down over there. But this man ripped off 5. One of them being the 70-yard haul that Byron talked about. I agree with Byron. I'm okay with Stroud having a lighter day. I know 22 passing attempts, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Still a better game than most. Special teams, man, gotta get that back. I mean, I will say this: I really, really, really get frustrated watching someone muff a kick or fumble a kick return. It's like you're starting off on a horrible tone, and Rutgers. Honestly, if that didn't happen, it's possible Rutgers doesn't even score a touchdown this game. And so, definitely want to see that. And Mr. Burke, don't think I forgot about you, Mr. Burke. I saw your ass get mossed. We got to do better, Mr. Burke. We can't talk about we can shut down some of the best receivers in the game and get mossed by a receiver at Rutgers. That's not how we do it.
Oh, we knew you saw your guy Burke, man. We always count on you to catch the corners because sometimes they be slipping.
Hey, Sean Wade put them all on notice. They should know I'm coming for the ass.
Only things I just want to add is Buckeye defense holding them to 0 points in the second quarter and 0 points in the fourth quarter, and only 3 points in the third quarter. But I think the biggest highlight of this game was the punt. The punt that wasn't a punt in the fourth quarter. Punter saw a lane. He took it. It was not a design play. And Rutgers was not feeling that. Then dude smacked him right in front of the OSU bunch. I mean,
Noah Ruggles earned every bit of that, though. Because I'll tell you what, he was hustling down that field. I was like, no, I didn't know you could move like this with the ball in your hands.
So, yeah, he got smacked. And then he got called. He got kicked out of the game. Shiano comes over, basically saying, Day, what the hell, man? You guys are already up. You're already up 30. Like, why are you going for it? And then Day's protecting his player. Shiano's protecting his. They hug it out in the end. But that was the most entertaining thing besides Miyan Williams. That was entertaining.
Like, he makes it sound like he ain't heard of Woody Hayes.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is us getting back what we lost at first kickoff. Like, yeah, we up by 30. But fuck y'all anyway. So it's football, man. It'll be okay. It's not like this is basketball. I can understand being pissed at basketball when that one dude's taking the layup and you're like, really, dog, you ain't gonna dribble this out? Like, you're down by 30. What are you doing the layup for?
Yeah, and that was Rutgers' thing of like overloading the right side and leaving the left completely open. And then I'm like, if I'm the Rutgers player too, I'd be fed up too. I probably would have done the same thing. I would be like, man, well,
Emotions were high. I don't know why I can't think of the Rutgers coach right now.
Greg Schiano, former
Yeah,
Buckeye
Greg Schiano literally ran across the whole field to confront Ryan Day, and that was hilarious. And I'm pretty sure I heard read his lips where he said, "Fuck you, Ryan Day."
Hey, I'm certain he was out of breath by the time he got there. At least he'll take one puff.
Hey, but they're cool. So that was just entertaining because I was like, oh, emotions are getting hot. But what you said, Byron, about CJ, I mean, he only threw 22 times, which is fine since Williams carried 21 times.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it just shows that, again, another week, we're showing you how we can beat you in many different ways. CJ doesn't always have to have 5 touchdowns. We have mine. And again, still not a full power, like you said. No Henderson, no Jackson Smith and Jig with this game as well.
Yep. I read yesterday that he should be available for the game against Michigan State. We'll have to see.
We'll see, because Michigan State has the 118th ranked pass defense. So they are terrible guarding the pass.
I was going to say, you make it, like, when you put the number out there, it's like, yeah, we're going to tell you a good thing. Actually, no, they are trash.
Yeah, this is not the Michigan State of old where if we were playing Michigan State on the road, I'd be a little nervous. This team is bad, very bad right now.
No, they ain't got no grown-ass dads and grandfathers running that ball no more, so we could.
They do not. They do not at all. The spread for this right now is currently 26.5.
That's not that bad.
No, not compared to the past couple, so... Yeah, but only thing is our first road game. Like we're in October. We're finally hitting our first road game,
which is still wild to me. That
so funny.
How did we get 5 home games? Like no one saw that and said, "We should probably change that."
Well, if you think about it, it'll probably come back and bite us later in the season when we get towards the postseason. I guarantee that's something someone's going to mention. They're going to say, "Well, they played their whole first fucking month of football at home."
Yeah, we did. And it's like this one road game, and then then we have a bye week, and then we have Iowa, and then all that stuff. So I'm not seeing much from Michigan State, man. It's not the same team of old. I really feel like I think we'll cover that spread pretty easily and take them out.
Yeah, looking at their stats, like Peyton Thorne's always okay. I mean, they don't really have like that star running back like they did with Kenneth Walker the third, who was just running down people's throats last year.
You mean
so I don't
Walker
really see
second?
Second, yes, thank you.
I mean, last year they were a better team, and we almost dropped like 60, if I believe correctly.
That's true, because we did shut down Kenneth Walker the second. Quick. So yeah, I don't really see us stumbling against them theoretically, but you still got to play the game.
All right, Cedric, what are you thinking about this game? You have any concerns?
I don't have any concerns, honestly. I think, again, I'm all about us getting as close to 100% as possible because I don't think we've actually ever seen a 100% Ohio State power. I mean, yeah, the first game, but Pacific Jimma got hurt early, so I want, if we can rest people, get people healthy, because this type of stuff, it tolls on your body, especially against a team that's we're not so worried about it all. It's like, we don't need to be exerting all our weapons. Let's get some people some rest. Let's get back to 100% because this is going to be a long season, and we want to get to the postseason as fast as possible, honestly.
Agreed. Again, a game where you don't want anyone injured and all of that. But yeah, Buckeyes take care of business. I think they win by a smooth 35.
I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that.
So I'm a low ball. I'm actually going to say we'll win by 24.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll cover.
Okay.
Just because we haven't covered the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, they are under 500 against the spread. They are, but I like it. Yeah, just another win. Let's go around college football, recap some other big games. Let's start off with the national champs, who no one expected was going to be in the dogfight that they were. They won 26-22 against unranked Missouri. Cedric, Byron, were you guys shocked by, if you saw any of the highlights or watched any of the game, were you shocked that game was that close? Are you starting to see maybe some chinks in Georgia? What did you guys think of that close game?
I definitely was surprised that Georgia was losing up until the third, fourth quarter, when they finally decided, all right, enough is enough, and they wanted to come back. Like at the end of the fourth quarter, it was still 19-12 Missouri. So I was very, very surprised that Missouri was taking it to Georgia.
Their field goal kicker was doing everything for Missouri. He really was.
Man, that dude. Sign him up. He needs a transfer portal. Like, I know we see the Dr. Pepper commercials with the one kicker, whoever leaving.
Oh God,
man, transfer portal, bro. That dude is clutch. He was clicking them in. But another fascinating thing, I'm honestly going to say, Stetson Bennett, you played like the college version of, oh man, I had his name. You threw all those yards, Philip Rivers. You threw all these yards, but no touchdowns.
Well,
man threw the ball 43 times, over 300 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah,
like that is nuts.
Yeah.
It was shocking because it's like you weren't expecting Georgia to be in that dogfight, and then you're seeing it. You're like, oh, they're actually like in a game for real. But again, when you're that talented, you got to wait till the clock is 0-0 to finally call the upset.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Debo.
Yep, shout out Debo. he was calling it way too early, but we'll see on that. We're going to stay in the SEC. You had a good game with Kentucky and Mississippi, two teams that we thought could cause some noise in the SEC, which they still might be able to. Lane Kiffin and Mississippi are undefeated. Kentucky had a chance to win, turned the ball over late. Those were two top teams going at it. What did you guys think of that game? And can Kentucky and Mississippi still cause ruckus in the SEC?
I think they can. It was a close game. Will Levis was leading a drive to end up winning the game, or at least tie it with a field goal, but he did not see that linebacker, and he just fumbled the ball, and it was over. So I think they could still make some noise. He 18 for 24 for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 fumbles. But I think they both make some noise.
Cedric, what do you think about both teams? You think they could still make some noise in the SEC?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I will say this: I fucking hate the SEC because all these damn teams are good, and it makes it even harder. I rue the day of 2026 when we have like 6 SEC teams making the fucking playoffs.
That was gonna be a whole other conversation.
That's gonna be fucking awful. And I'm just seeing it in the makings right now. Like there are teams that are really like performing well, even in conference play. I mean, that's a close game. It's 3 points. Like they're dealing each other their only losses. Until we get later in the season when we start seeing like some of these teams take multiple losses, that'll just be the only saving grace. But I mean, don't sleep on them. Definitely don't sleep on them. If you're Bama, Georgia, whoever, what have you, don't sleep on them. It can happen to you too.
That's true. It can happen to anyone. Stay in the SEC for one more before we go to the big number 5 versus number 10 Clemson NC State game. The team that keeps going up and down, Texas A&M. Texas A&M and Oklahoma, we'll throw them in too. Both got destroyed. Obviously, Texas A&M never should have even been ranked when they lost to Appalachian State, but whatever. They magically were up to 17, and then they lose 42-24 to Texas A&M. Oklahoma, who lost, was 18, and they lost 55-24 against TCU. TCU was clowning them on Twitter so bad, saying, "Who's going to get to 60+ first, us or Aaron Judge?" The hitter on the Yankees who's chasing history. And I'm like, wow, when we're smoking people, we talk. So we're back here again, man. First we'll start with Texas A&M. Like, they got killed. They're not good.
They're not good. I really had so much hope for them at the beginning of the season because they were talking shit to Nick Saban, which I love, but man, after losing to Appalachian State and then losing handily to Mississippi State, who's also not ranked, that's not a good look.
And you're getting paid $95 million a year, Jimbo.
Right.
I'm just
not Jimbo.
Yeah. It's kind of bad. Like, what are we? And we're gonna quickly preview them in Alabama next, like in our next segment part, because I don't know if they're gonna score 10 points against Bama.
Man,
no. I mean, they didn't score until the third quarter.
Yeah, they are terrible, and this is
game. I'm glad they bounced out. It was about time they bounced out.
Yep, it just took that to finally get them out of the top 25. Didn't belong there in the first place, but it is what it is. That then Oklahoma just getting shellacked too.
I was not expecting TCU to destroy them like that. Like, I thought like it would have been like a close game, but no, TCU said no, it's our conference now.
Mm-hmm. There's a team that we're going to be talking. They have a game on that we're going to be previewing next that has something else to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're going to say.
I don't know, man. Kansas has something to say about that.
Oh, that's true. I forgot the Kansas is in the Big 12, but not that.
And Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, they got something to say about that too.
Shoot, man, they out there. TCU than Horned Frogs.
But two programs, obviously. Oklahoma getting coached by the former defensive coordinator from Clemson, getting his first head coaching job, getting shellacked. But we'll see, because going into the games of the week, months ago, you would have said this week, game day would have been picking between Red River Rivalry, Texas and Oklahoma, or Bama and Texas A&M. Mm-hmm. Since A&M is trash, Texas hasn't won since they should have beat Alabama. OU just got beat by 30+. We are going, game day for the first time ever is going to Lawrence, Kansas for TCU versus Kansas. Kansas 5-0. TCU 4-0. TCU was unranked before they killed Oklahoma, now they're 17. Kansas was unranked. Now finally they're 5-0. It's exciting for your first game day in your school's history coming there, but that's going to be exciting, man, because one of these teams is going to still be undefeated. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I don't know. Like, on paper, they're like pretty evenly matched. Like, the TCU quarterback is 70 for 94 for 997 yards, 11 touchdowns. The Kansas quarterback is 73 for 107 yards, 73 for 107, 983 yards, 11 touchdowns, and an interception. They're almost like the identical player. Well, I don't know. Like on ESPN, TCU has a 68% chance to win against Kansas. I don't know if that's because they just absolutely destroyed Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be a very, very good game. I'm excited for it. I want to say TCU.
Cedric, who do you think is going to win this one?
No. I like the Jayhawks.
Okay.
I like the Jayhawks. I mean, Byron's going to pick TCU. I'll pick the Jayhawks.
No, I'm sorry, Byron. It's their first game day. They got to do it. They got to do it. They might not get one ever again. So let's just, I mean, Kansas has been around for a long time. So if this is your first one in school history, yeah, I got to roll with you because your crowd's about to be pumped. I know some people who played at Kansas who are thinking about going down there for game day. You already know those donors. They're going to be they're going to be tossing out the money. This might be the biggest football game of their life.
That is true. I mean, if Kansas ends up winning, they do have a date with number 7 Oklahoma State on November 5th, which will be another good game to watch. So we'll see.
Ooh. You mentioning dates on the calendar. If TCU wins, they play Oklahoma State next week. Like if you look at the lineup for them, they got it rough. They play Oklahoma State and Kansas State.
Kansas State, they balling. They are balling.
Yeah.
Martin, I don't know how he's still in college, but he is balling.
Yeah, I don't know how he's in college either. I feel like he's been in there at least for 10 years.
They're 4-1.
Yeah, ranked number 20 now.
It's nuts, man.
It's crazy how the teams who are going to still be in the Big 12 are balling, and then you look at the other teams who are leaving the Big 12, they are ass. Texas and Oklahoma. Red River rivalry. I mean, this is the biggest rivalry in the Big 12, and don't get its TV buzz and all that. People tune in, but I don't know who needs to win more. I think they're getting Quinn Ewers back potentially this week. Potentially.
Okay.
I'll say Texas needs to win more.
Yeah, after that close game against Alabama, I feel like Texas needs to win more. But I feel like Oklahoma is going to come in way more fired up after getting trounced by TCU.
Both teams are not even in the top 25 right now, which I would have to really go back in my head and think when's the last time that was a thing in the Red River rivalry where they both weren't in the top 25. And I'm just saying, again, I know it was about the money, but y'all can't even be ranked in the Big 12, and y'all going to the SEC in a couple of years. So, okay.
That's what I'm saying. They got most to lose right now. Nick, listen, you're going to get eaten alive.
I'm just like, okay.
Week.
Yeah.
Where's this game at? That's what
I think at Oklahoma.
You know what? They suck. Give me Texas.
Give you Texas.
I'll believe in Quinn if he plays. And if that defense shows up that put Bryce Young in check, I think they will win. And it's going to be hot in Norman.
Yeah, Texas does have a 68% chance to win. And the spread is only a touchdown, so they go either way.
Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Oklahoma because I feel like they're going to be more fired up after a loss than Texas is after a win, even though Texas needs it more.
Okay. Cedric, who you got in this one?
Man, I like yours if he comes back. Honestly, they need to put Gabriel in check. This nigga has over 1,000 yards passing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that nigga, they throwing the rock out in Oklahoma. They just don't play defense.
Which we've been saying that for almost a decade.
Hey, that's all they care about. They got the mellow mentality on the football field. Go. I'll just try to score more.
Their offense is their defense.
Well, when their offense is ass, then what's that make their defense?
Ass.
They don't have a defense, so.
Oh man! Then you got this surprising matchup in the Pac-12 of ranked teams. 11 Utah, who is climbed their way after.
Here we go.
After taking that L to Florida, they have climbed their way back 4-1.
Yeah, this
and they're
is
playing
against
UCLA, who was 5-0.
Yeah, buddy.
Cedric,
remember
you're a UCLA basketball fan. Who are you taking in this one?
Oh, bro, I'm going Bruins, baby. We gotta do it, especially because I know you was talking about USC is doing good, but UCLA is ass. So I'm like, UCLA undefeated, man. They trying their little dream right now.
No,
they trying to shoot their little dream.
I was. It's because there was one game and there was no one there, and I'm like, damn. But I feel like this game is at UCLA, isn't it?
It is at UCLA.
Oh, I feel like they're about to have a big crowd.
And if I was 7 years younger with a lot of money,
you'd be going.
Hell yeah, I fly out to LA for this bitch. Hell yeah.
I mean, if they win, they're 6-0, and then you're having a whole different conversation about the Pac-12, because then you got USC up there at 5, UCLA at 6-0. Like this could change a lot of things. And then you got Oregon at 12.
But we both know the reality of how those seasons are going to end.
Oh yes, but right now. All right, you're taking UCLA. Byron, who are you taking?
Man, this one's tough. I know Utah can score because they gave it to us last year in the Rose Bowl. So I know they can go off.
Utah's a
UCLA.
Utah has a good program.
They are.
Like they only stumbled against Florida, which means Florida is Florida, but
and they've climbed back.
They climbed back into the rankings. Number 11.
Because Florida's not even in the rankings anymore. No, they're not.
Well, that happens when you play the SEC football. Sometimes you roll the dice and lose. Nick Saban got good money.
We're getting to him soon.
I want to take UCLA too.
Yeah, join the Bruin bandwagon.
I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna take Utah on this one. If UCLA wins, then man, we're gonna be coming back next week saying, "Dang, 6-0." Like,
yeah. If UCLA wins, they go on to play Oregon next week,
and that's another big game.
So if UCLA wins, Martin will say, "Hey man, just show some love one time for them." I
will. If they win, I will show them love next week.
And then if Utah wins, they go on to play number 6 USC next week.
See, man, this is the type of thing when you simulate and you just try to like, let's simulate this week. I want to see the 15.
Oh, that's gonna be real interesting. We're gonna have to be looking.
I never thought I'd say this. I can't wait to watch Pac-12 football.
Right.
It's been a while. It's been a long time for that. Go back to the SEC. You got another undefeated team. You got Tennessee going against number 12 LSU, which they've only lost that one game at the beginning of the year, which was one of the worst losses I've ever seen. But can Tennessee stay the course and be undefeated? What do you guys think? Who you got in that one?
I got Tennessee. I just think they're a better football team.
Mm-hmm.
They're good. They're really good. They have good receivers.
Yeah.
Man. Only because I know my man been struggling on Madden. He's been grinding out here. I'm going to go LSU. Go Tigers. my dude Chuck. One time.
I'm going to go if this game it's at LSU, but it's at 12 o'clock. If this was LSU at nighttime, full moon,
man,
I would have picked LSU for the upset because you don't want to go to Death Valley and then not the full moon, not in October.
He wanted the full moon.
The full moon and all Tiger, all of it. But now I'm gonna go Tennessee. They're rocking some hard. I don't know if you guys have seen them yet. Just Google them. Tennessee's gonna be rocking some hard uniforms for this game.
Right, it's orange and white.
No, they're rocking like an orange black one.
Oh.
Hold
up now. Yeah, I got Google.
Well, you guys, because I saw they're like, Tennessee has some new like orange black. I was like, if I was a Vols fan, and the only volunteer I liked was Tennessee basketball, and Bruce Pearl was coaching. But
Excuse.
Oh yeah, bro. That was my guy, Chris Lofton. That's a whole different thing. But other game, it's the nightcap on CBS, 8 p.m. Was supposed to be the game of the year. Now it's the game of the trash. Number 1, Alabama against
game of the trash
against Texas A&M. The real question is, when does Texas A&M start losing by 30? By halftime or by the end of the third quarter?
Oh, come on, bro. Come on, though. Don't do them like that.
They could prove me wrong. They could upset them like they did last year. But after the last week, oh, no. I don't know if they scored. I'm taking Bama by 35.
Damn.
And this, and I'm gonna go even woozier. This is even if Bryce Young doesn't play. That is how bad.
Okay, that's so disrespectful.
That is how bad.
That's so
Texas,
disrespectful.
they suck.
Bro, you saying they starting Heisman quarterback? Ain't gonna lose still by 30. Come on, man.
I'm that far. If I had a little bell for like woozy pick of the week, that would be it.
Oh yeah, we'd be dinging the hell out of this.
Right. 35 with the backup.
35 with the backup.
That's so disrespectful. See, Jimbo gonna slide into your DMs.
I hope that Jimmy Boy does. We got a long conversation. He needs to shoot. I'm gonna give him some resources for unemployment because his ass is gonna be gone by the end of the year. The way this keeps going,
someone will hire him.
Someone will. But
shit, you never know. Coach. Wisconsin just fired their coach. They may fed on Jimbo.
Jimmy Boy can come over here and he can come to the winter Big Ten. Don't know how to play in snow anyway or recruit. Trash ass.
Hey, I thought you was gonna say how much you want to bet that there's a fight during this game.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna say that too.
Well, that'll be before kickoff.
Oh
yeah, they're gonna be meeting in the middle.
Good warm-ups.
Good warm-up fight. You already know they're going to play the tapes before the game of the summertime. He said, we don't buy our players like Texas A&M. Oh, my God.
Apparently,
they really didn't need to say that.
And then he said, y'all treat Saban like God. He ain't nothing. I was like, bro, oh, no. Okay.
They ain't pay enough.
No, they didn't pay enough.
Because them players is not getting it done.
All that X amount NIL money just to be trash. Man. So how much do y'all think Alabama's winning by then? Or do you think Texas A&M is going to win?
Stop.
I don't think so.
Stop.
I'm not going to be the one on this podcast to say that Texas A&M is going to win.
Bro, I ain't going to lie like that.
No, I'm not going to lie like that. Texas A&M is going to lose. Now, how about how much? I don't know. The spread is 24 right now.
That's too low.
Yeah,
we know for you.
I'm gonna say Alabama is going to win by 35.
With their starting quarterback or backup?
With their starting quarterback, with Bryce Young.
Okay,
so you pretty much say the same thing.
I mean, I'm saying it with backup. I don't care who's playing. It could be you being quarterback. They're losing by 35.
Man, look, I'll be honest. I think they'll lose by 20. Okay. I think they'll cover. I think they'll cover. Like, I think it'll be like 42-22, something woozy like that, or 60. No, not 60, because the minute they let Bama score 60, you ain't scoring over 20. So there's just not enough time in the game for that to happen.
Right.
Okay.
Shit, or like 40-something, maybe 13. You know, I don't know.
I can see that. We're going to see. It's at Alabama at night. We don't really get to see that many Alabama night games.
Man, all the cousins are going to be out.
They're all about to be. That's going to be something else. Just one thing, because we didn't actually talk about it real quick. One last recap. Clemson, number 5 versus North Carolina State, number 10. That was actually a very good game. Clemson went to 5-0. And when I was watching that and I saw Clemson's defensive line, I said, oh, boy. Oh,
yeah, they were getting after that NC quarterback. He did not have a chance to do anything.
It was the third quarter when he got smacked on that sack. I'm like, oh, he's done. He's scared now because that line. It was like, ooh, Clemson might be back for real.
We'll see. I mean, they've had a close game against Wake Forest, had a close game against NC State. I mean, the next ranked opponent they play is Syracuse on October 22nd.
Shout out to Syracuse, unranked to 5-0.
Yeah. So we'll see. And then they play after Syracuse. They play Notre Dame. So we'll see how Notre Dame does.
Brother Free.
Man, Marcus, you need to get it right.
I don't know. I don't know if that quarterback's going to survive against that line.
Well,
yeah.
I was watching. I'm like, oh, they got players. I was like, I don't know how y'all gave up almost 50-plus points that last game, but I get shit. Dabo said, y'all, this defense is going to need to step up. But that place is intimidating at night. I'm not going to lie. That Clemson, yeah, when they got all the fireworks and all that. But all right, guys, anything else? Oh, top 25 real quick, just because we already hit. Alabama's the new number one because Georgia won by 4 points. So they dropped them, but then again, they didn't drop Alabama down when they only won by 1 point against Texas. But that's okay. Besides that, literally, the top 10 basically stays the same, except Oklahoma State jumped up to 7. You got Tennessee at 8, Ole Miss at 9, Penn State's 10, USC, Clemson, Michigan, Ohio State right there, 3 and 4. Nothing. We had a whole bunch of new teams jump in the top 25. TCU, UCLA, Kansas, Syracuse, Mississippi State, Cincinnati, and LSU all jumped from unranked to the top 25 because teams like Oklahoma and Texas A&M aren't good.
Yeah.
Guys, anything else? I mean, Buckeyes going to come out on top. Now we're going to be really paying attention. TCU, Kansas, Utah, UCLA, Tennessee, LSU. We got some good games.
Yeah, some very good games this weekend. We'll say I did shout out Minnesota last week, and then they went to lose because Mohamed Ibrahim didn't play. That's okay. Purdue loves to play spoilers.
You don't want to mess with Purdue because they will ruin someone's season in the Big Ten. I do like how their best player, Mohamed Ibrahim, did not play, and the little people who barely watch the games are like, yeah, you're out the top 25. Yeah, you got to go. But Cedric, anything else you want to add, man?
No, I mean, it's good with college football. It's going to be, honestly, this whole month should be solid.
Mm-hmm.
Should be solid football. So good start of October. We're right in the midst of it.
Mm-hmm.
Football all the time. I love it.
With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe wherever you listen. YouTube, Apple, Google, Spotify, radio, whatever, all the crazy podcast sites we didn't even know existed before we started this. We're on there, so check us out. Again, thank you for all the support that you guys provide us. And, as always, go Bucks. This is the L7C podcast, signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.